been kind of an interesting week, hasn't it? If you've been watching the news, man, things are just sort of spiraling down. It looks like if you're watching the news out of Washington, D.C., across the country, more riots, and this is not going to get a whole lot better between now and the election. There's just no doubt about that. But what happens after the election is anybody's guess. Throw in COVID, it's been an amazing year. My wife and I were talking this week, and I said, with all of the terrible things that have happened this year, it's actually been I'm pretty grateful for the things that have happened this year. How about you guys? Have any of you, just been kind of amazed at what God has done in your lives this year? Graham and I have been stuck in the United States. We say stuck. It's not a chore, but we haven't been able to go to our homes in Panama since May. Before that for Graham. And so, spending 5 or 6 months here has been really instructive. I've had a chance to see American culture through new eyes, kind of see it from the outside in. And there's so much to love about America. There is so much to love about what we have here, the freedoms that we have, that when you are a citizen, that's different than when you're a subject. And you go to a place like Panama, which has theoretically all the same protections as we do from a liberty standpoint, but in actual fact, it's just not as free a country. It's just not as free a place. And so I've just been kind of gaining a new appreciation for what we have here. And so it makes me that much more upset, much more angry when I see people attacking those very freedoms, the very things that make America great. And I watch so many, it seems like half the country wants to tear down the foundations of those things. And I watch these skinny little latte sipping punks on TV that are rioting across America, that are saying America was never great, that are attacking all of our fundamental institutions, and I get it's hard not to want to go rip their arms off. You know what I mean? Graham may get a chance to do that. You may, if you're watching TV today at the prayer march and there's a bunch of Antifa protesters that show up, you may get to see Graham going full Chewbacca on those guys and ripping some people's arms off and beating them to death with them. But
while praying.
Yes. Well, yeah. In Christian love, of course. What we have to remember, the thing that I have to keep reminding myself, is that those people are not the enemy, that those people are the captives. The Bible says in 2 Timothy that those people have been taken captive by the devil to do his will. And so they've been given over to a depraved mind. They are absolutely depraved, and they have to be depraved to say that what they're doing is good, to overlook the actual facts and make up their own facts. You hear them talk like that. You hear them say, well, I'm just living my truth. Well, guess what? Truth is not like flavors of ice cream. Truth is not something you get to just choose from a cafeteria style, from a smorgasbord of options. Truth is like penicillin. It's life or death. And you either take it and line up with it, or you don't, and you live or die by actual truth, by reality, objective truth. And they don't understand that. I've had conversations with these people in the last several weeks where you say, you are skewing the truth. You're not understanding the facts as they really are. And they're saying, I'm living my truth. And I said, well, you don't get to live your truth. And say, I had a guy say, well, there is no such thing as truth. And I said, so is that a true statement? You're making an objective truth claim about the fact that there is no such thing as objective truth. Your worldview commits suicide. It kills itself. I don't even have to argue with that. But that's when we have to remember that these people are not the enemy, that they are the captives, and captives need to be set free. Now, how you deal with those people is going to take a lot of prayer. If you find yourself confronted with an angry mob, you can't reason with the mob. But if it's likely that many of you are dealing with people who are caught up in this lie that they get to choose their own truth. In your dealings on Facebook, we're going to see more and more of those divisions as we get closer to the election. I made a post about the COVID-19 virus this week, and it sparked some very heated and passionate conversation on both sides, even from family members of mine, about whether or not masks are effective. And I think we have to maybe take a breath and take a step back now and then and say, you know what, I have to remind myself that 25, 50 years from now, maybe even 1 year from now, these things that we're so passionately arguing about really are not going to matter that much. What's going to matter is the relationships of love that I show to people, so that they will trust me when I tell them about the good news of Jesus Christ. And how to be loving in such a toxic political environment is a really difficult question.